Welcome back to Junkyard Junior. Working on Weston's truck again. So I was debating back and forth on whether or not to do this, but I'm like, man, if we're going to a truck show, let's try to make it as tight and right as we can. It's not going to be perfect, but if we can make it a little more presentable, we need to, and it's something that I've been wanting to do anyways. So one thing that this truck needs is a paint job. The sides of it look really good, but it's the typical clear coat on top. It's roached, it's flaking off, you can see, and you can just, it just pops right off as the sun eats away at the edges there. So the correct thing to do would be put this thing in a paint shop and do a complete paint job on it. No one wants to mess with the Mark III stripes that are on the truck. They just want to paint it one solid color, and I'm almost okay with that. But the other problem that I have is if we get this truck really nice and tight and right with a paint job, I feel like that's going to take some of the fun factor out of the truck, and it's going to give Weston a little more stress as well when he does start driving it, because if he bumped into something, somebody else scratched it, whatever, that's not fun to deal with. So what I've experienced with my square body is, really nice paint job that Dave and I did on that, but I've seen it happen too many times where you get such a nice paint job on a vehicle that you're scared to use it. You don't want it to get scratched, and that takes a lot of fun out of it. So there's really no point in that. That's not the direction we're going with this truck. It's going to be just like the square body. It's going to be a driver every day. So what are we going with? Well, you can see we've got it on the hood here. Poppy's Patina is what we chose. And the whole Patina thing, there's a lot to it. Some guys are like really into it, covering up rust and preserving it and stuff like that. That's not what we're dealing with. But this product is also geared towards exactly what we're dealing with, getting rid of this flaking clear coat and some discoloration on it. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. I was reading through the basic instructions. Obviously you have to scuff it so it has something to adhere to. But one thing I've done in this truck a few times as the sun eats it away, we just hit it with a blowgun and it blows all the loose clear coat right off and gets you back to kind of a sharp edge, if you will. And that's not ideal to put clear coat over that. So what I think we're gonna do is, it's obviously all an experiment, but I don't think it's gonna turn out any worse than what it is. So we're gonna blow that clear coat off, and we're gonna wet sand all the areas that need clear coat. So that's gonna take away this oxidation that's on the top of the clear, and in theory get us down to some better looking clear. So it's gonna pop a little better whenever we do get the Poppy's Patina clear coat on there. And it's the hood and the roof and the tops of the bed rails are what's starting to get ate up. But there's a little bit on the tops of the fenders here. I don't know if I want to get into that yet. If we do, we did go with gloss clear. They have satin as well, but we went with gloss, hoping that it would blend in somewhat nicely. So we might use on the front, this is the tape line here, this silverish blue, the top one. We'll let that be our tape line, so we can just do this whole section here. We definitely have to do that on the bed rails, but up here, I don't know, haven't decided 100% yet. And the tops of the doors are starting to, flake away a little bit too, so we want to address that. So let's get to it. Let's blow this clear coat off of here and start wet sanding and see how this thing looks before we put clear on it. Comes off of there pretty decent. You can get the idea. We're going to do this on all the slight loose clear coat before we start wet sanding. So we are making progress, believe it or not. Minor setback though. The truck had little bubbles all over it, and I knew that going into it. Didn't know what was underneath it. I would assume that when this truck got repainted back in early 2000s, I think it was, that whoever did it put like a high build epoxy primer on it, and all their imperfections are now showing through. Not my favorite thing for sure, but it is what it is. We're not spending, I don't know, $8,000 on a paint job, because that's probably what it would take to get this thing tight and right. So we're trying to hold it, preserve it, just keep it looking decent the way it is. And then down the road, after Weston has a few years experience or something, hey, maybe we will strip this thing down and completely redo it like it deserves. I just don't think we're at that point yet. We're just gonna keep wet sanding, working on the hood now. Got the tops of the doors. There's some more of those little specks I was telling you about. It is what it is. It'll be better than it was. The clear won't be flaking off. That's the main goal. So we're just going to keep carrying on. Lots of imperfections in the silver on the hood, but again, it'll be better than it was. I just can't stand the clear that was flaking off like daily. It was driving me crazy. So got this little wax remover action going on here. We went ahead and taped off our edges so we can get some good straight lines and not get the clear on all the trim. And I'm wiping it down with the wax and grease remover, and Weston's coming over and drying it, so it'll be ready in just a second here to get some clear on this truck. All right, well, it lays down pretty nice, but it's much different than what I expected. Obviously, it's a clear, so it's going to be thin. I think it would probably work better if you sprayed it rather than this wipe-on method, but they say it's fine to wipe, so that's what we're doing. And it lays down. I'm satisfied with it, but you gotta work quick. And this pad really tries to soak it up when you give it a little dunk in the clear coat. So that first swipe is going to be really heavy, so you got to be gentle and ready to catch a drip because it's coming off. But so far, I'm really satisfied with it. It's definitely breathing some life back into this old truck, which is exactly what we were looking for. Big difference. So is it perfect? Definitely not. Is it better than what it was? Absolutely. But like I said earlier, we're not going for a perfect paint restorations because that's thousands of dollars on this truck, and we spent like $125 on this clear kit from Poppy's Patina. So far I'm really satisfied with it. We got a nice even coat on all of it, and it does flash pretty quick, so you got to be working with that pad or spray gun, whatever you're doing, to keep those wet edges alive, because it flashes fast and it'll get away from you if you're not careful. So work in an area that's a manageable size for your work pace. Looks good. We're gonna let it dry out here. We got it in the AC because Florida humidity is crazy, so we'll let all that chemicals get flashed out of there, and we'll see how this thing looks, and we'll get some tape off of it and get an honest opinion on it. Well, for something that was wiped on, I am very impressed with this clear coat. Again, it's not going to be perfect. That's okay. It's much better than it was. I did screw up though. I didn't even notice it. Right here, I don't know if you can see it, there's a couple little streaks where I didn't get the clear heavy enough. It's a little bit too light. Gotta wait. Instructions say give it like 24 hours before you can wet sand it, and then you can apply another coat. Now it's really, cured and slick. I mean, it lays down nice. I'm impressed with it, but that was completely my screw up. Nothing, nothing wrong with the product. Manufacturer did a good job. It looks awesome. Is it, perfect? No, because we didn't start with anything perfect underneath. It still has all these blemishes, but everything's sealed, and it looks pretty dang nice in my opinion. And even up top here, so I did something that I thought was okay. Some people might think it's dumb. You can see this line right here. That was my tape line. I had to stop somewhere. I could have came all the way down here and done it on this, tape the belt line just like I did the rest of it, but I don't know, it just didn't seem necessary to me, so I figured that was kind of a good stopping point, just put a straight line. So what I'm thinking is I can actually wet sand that line a little bit and get rid of that sharp edge, and then you can polish out the scratches from 1500, 2000 sandpaper from wet sanding. So I think that's okay. But the crazy part is the camera does no justice. I mean, maybe you can see it a little bit there. New clear versus old clear. It's, man, like, it just makes me wish I'd done the whole truck in it, but that's a lot of work. Something that I just wasn't prepared to do, have the mindset to do. We might do it in the future. I don't know, but for now, it's a really nice product. I'm very satisfied with it. If you're hesitant about it, don't be. Go with Poppy's Patina for the win. It was a nice product, easy process, so no complaints here. It looks good. Thank you all for watching Junko F Jr. Hope you enjoyed it. Maybe you learned something, and we will see you next time.